Hello, Erin.
Hello, Pete.
So we're back in the chapel tonight.
We are.
We love the chapel. We're from a different angle this time.
We are. I think you can see a lot more of what the chapel has to offer with this setup. We were a little bit crammed in last week, but we've got loads of equipment set up again.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be as active.
So we will go through the history of the chapel. We'll go through some of the paranormal things that have happened in the chapel and some of the prominent prisoners. Well, one prominent prisoner who is very highly associated with the chapel. But before we do, as Erin said, we've got some equipment set up and there's some new things. There's some new toys.
We have got some new toys. So the 2 candles that you can see either side of us on the pews here are actually EMF detectors, and we're trying them out.
What do they do? How do you know?
Apparently, I've got them set really low, but apparently when they detect EMF anomalies, they light up. So with the candle flickering, it's meant to kind of demonstrate anomalies with the EMF.
So it's like an ERQ and an EMF all in one.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, so that's
now,
good.
when you say light up, they're lit now. This is just standard?
This is just standard. Apparently they get really bright.
Oh, that one's gone off. Oh. But it was doing that before, so I was just wondering if off meant that they weren't picking something up.
I've literally only just charged them up today. I haven't even had a chance to test them out. So this is us testing them out tonight.
We've also got a tripwire. We've got 2 tripwires. So we've got one going all the way along the back, which I'm not sure if you'll be able to see. Apparently you can see the end. And then we've got a cross wire, which is another tripwire, across it. So making a cross, because we're in a chapel, so seems fitting. And put some cat balls around?
Cat balls are absolutely everywhere, and I've got a paranormal music box facing the vestry on this side this time.
The most active, which I'll tell you a bit more about later as well. Okay, and the dead bell,
which we haven't turned on yet, but we can turn it on a bit later.
We might play the that later.
Bits. Yeah.
All right. Well, should we just get cracking?
Let's do it. Absolutely. We had a really active time last week in here, so hopefully it'll be good tonight.
Hope so. And I've got to say that I've had a lot of experiences in the jail in itself tonight. So we are here, we do have some paranormal investigators here who have hired the jail to run their own investigations. And Lynda's going to be a special guest with us tonight and chat about her experiences in here. But we came into the chapel into the jail to unlock everything, set it all up for people. And almost from the second we arrived, stuff started happening. Should I go into detail about that? May as well. Just shows what kind of night it is. So firstly, I was parking my car and I glanced over towards 5 Wing and I swear I saw someone standing there, but I dismissed it. And I said to Lynda, because I know there's no one here, I said to Lynda, oh, maybe it was just, a trick of the light. So that was the very first thing. Then after that, I had to go into 5 Wing and to make sure that there was a gate at the end that was locked. So I went into 5 Wing, pitch black, of course, even though it was still daylight at the time. And you know that feeling you get when you just know that you're being watched? It was horrific. Now, I don't get scared easily. I've been doing this far too long. It takes, especially in the jail, it takes a lot to scare me, and I was petrified. I had to get out of there as quickly as possible. I come back, I'm opening my car door, getting stuff out of the car. Lynda comes out and she says, "What'd you say?" And I said nothing. She said, no, you just spoke to me. And I said nothing. So she heard my voice talking to her. And then I went down to unlock 1 and 3 Wing. And while I was down there, she heard male voices talking then as well and came out investigating to see who the men were. So yeah.
She's definitely vibing tonight. And when we were dropping the guests off at 1 and 3, we were at 1 Wing and we were actually saying our goodbyes, and we heard thump, thump, thump from right up on the top level of the cells, which nobody was up there, everybody was on the ground floor. And
they all heard it too, which
everybody
was great.
heard it, which was wonderful. We walked away really shaken up by it, thinking, what on earth was this? And Pete and I were talking about it, and Pete said, oh my God, it sounded like a ball bouncing. And that's where obviously the children were in that wing. So we had all of our hair standing up on end.
Yeah.
And then we were walking back.
Yep. Walking past the governors. The governors. And it was the side door of the governors. And we both heard a growl. That's all I can explain.
Which was delightful.
Yeah.
When we were on our own in the dark. Yeah. A really horrible growl.
It's been a night. It's been quite the night. Anyway, the chapel. The chapel. Okay, so this beautiful building wasn't always here. So people are surprised to find out that this is actually one of the newest buildings in the jail complex. It was built in the early 1900s, whereas one wing was built in 1842. And it was built on the grounds of what was originally the deputy governors.
I heard that. Yeah, they had a residence here as well.
Yep. So
amazing.
And it wasn't just used as a chapel, so it wasn't consecrated. It was never consecrated, so any faith could worship here, and they could use it for other things. So it was used for all different things. It was used for like AA meetings, social dues that they would have. Some concerts. And oh, that one's just gone back on.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, concerts. Arts and craft, anything that involved a group of people,
a gathering,
they would do it in the chapel. And that kind of brings us to our inmate of the week, we should call it. Our inmate of the week I think he's a spunk. I'm going to put a photo of him up on screen right now. His name was Leonard Keith Lawson. Lenny. Or Len. He was known as all three, Leonard, Len, Lenny. We call him Lenny most of the time. And he is very attached to this chapel, and there's a very good reason why. Now, Lenny, and Erin's going to interrupt me and add in little things here and there, because she's done her own research on Lenny as well. Lenny was quite famous in the 1950s. He was a comic book artist. He wrote a comic book called The Lone Avenger. He wrote it, he designed it, he illustrated it, and he was making quite a bit of money. He lived in the Northern Beaches. He was married. He had 2 children, and he was a textbook psychopath. So Lenny had this deep desire to rape and murder women, as you do. And he knew it was wrong. He used to call it his monster, the monster inside of him. And one day he thought the only way that he can get rid of this urge is to try and act out some of his fantasies. So he hired 4 June Dally Watkins models, and he told them that he was doing a photo shoot. And I'm just going to tell an abridged version of this because the story is quite lengthy, so I'll just tell it.
Yeah, I've got something to add too, which I found out.
He said it was going to be a bit of a nudie photo shoot, so, they'd need to take their clothes off. He took them into the bush at Terry Hills, and sure enough, they took their clothes off. He took some photos, and then he went to his bag and he produced a gun. Now, he told them that he was thinking of suiciding, and of course they were saying, no, don't kill yourself, don't kill yourself. So instead he tied them up, raped 2 of them, and sexually assaulted the other 2. He didn't rape them because one was pregnant, or said she was pregnant, the other one said she was married, so we are assuming he thought he had morals. Then the silly man untied them and drove them home. Now, on their way home, one of the girls said that she needed to go to a chemist. So he stopped at a chemist, and she got out of the car, and she ran inside, and she, of course, told the pharmacist what had happened to her, and they called the police. Police came and arrested him, and Lenny actually got sentenced to death. because back in the 1950s,
Yeah, it was death, capital punishment.
rape was a death sentence. So Lenny went to Long Bay Jail to await his execution, and while he was there, he appealed, and he won. He, as a psychopath, he convinced everyone that it was innocent. He thought it was consensual. These girls wanted him to have sex with them and sexually assault them.
That's one of the most disturbing elements of this particular crime that he committed is his defence. And I was reading about it. What he actually said was, oh, well, I didn't do it. But funnily enough, these girls were joking at me and saying it would be quite nice if they would be raped. Raped sounded like it was so much fun to be raped and all of this sort of thing. And it gives you a real insight into the kind of thinking errors that people like Lenny make. They can't be trusted. They really do. I mean, part of him, I think, really did believe that, just to justify his own behaviour. But,
Yeah.
nice
So,
guy.
yeah, delightful. So he won his appeal and his death sentence got commuted to 14 years in prison. And then after 7 years, he was out on parole. So it just blows my mind that someone went from a death sentence to out on the streets in 7 years.
The Lenny Lawson charm. We'll hear a lot about it in this segment.
Well, that one's
unbelievable.
Has it?
Oh.
So next thing is his wife and his children left him while he was in jail and divorced him. They moved to Queensland, I believe. Smart thinking. So the next thing is he moves into a flat at Collaroy, and while he's in the flat, he befriends a family, Jane Bower. They had a 15-year-old daughter named Jane Bower. And he was telling the family how he was an artist. I hear that. Bang from behind us. How he was an artist and how he wanted to paint Jane's portrait. So she'd come in after school and he'd paint her portrait, and then she'd go home, and then eventually his monster struck again. And he filled a sock with sand, and he came out while she was sitting in his lounge room, and he hit her over the head with the sock. Then he raped her. He stabbed her, I think it was something like 17 times. It was something ridiculous. Then he raped her again, and then he engraved in her stomach, "I'm sorry, Len." That is serial killer.
Horrendous stuff.
It's vulgar. So he knew that he was in big trouble. So he fled, and he went down to Mossvale, and there was an all-girls grammar school down there. And he broke in and he hid in their chapel. It's got a thing with chapels.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. And then when the girls came in for their morning devotion, he stood up with his gun and held them all hostage. Now, to cut a very long story short, apparently the hostage situation took quite some time. To cut a long story short, he knew that he was caught. He knew that he was going to be done in for. So the headmistress, was a lady who was in there, could see he was getting more and more agitated and trigger happy, and she was really concerned. So she thought, I need to try and put a stop to this. So she actually wrestled him, and she tried to get the gun off him, and as that happened, the gun discharged, and it shot 16-year-old Wendy Sue Luscombe straight through the heart, killing her instantly. So for that crime, he was sent to Parramatta Jail. So he comes in here and again puts on the psychopath charm. Everyone loved him. He became top dog. He became head of the social club committee.
So even the officers loved him. So this went beyond charming the fellow inmates. The officers loved him.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
He decided that all the inmates who were on good behaviour deserved a reward. They deserved a reward, you know. Is that you, Len?
I can hear you.
That he reserved a reward, so he organised for a bunch of performers to come and do a performance, basically where we are sitting right now. And there was a dancer, 23-year-old lady named Sharon Hamilton. And while Sharon was up on stage doing a dance, Lenny got up, produced a knife from his sock that he'd somehow gotten and held it to her throat. Now, I don't know how long this standoff went, but it was his downfall. It was the thing that made the other prisoners see what an asshole he actually was, what a psychopath he was. They wrestled him off her, and in the process, cut her neck. She lived, but she was so traumatised and had PTSD that she suicided a few years later.
Can you imagine just the terror?
So Lenny is seen in this chapel, and we believe the reason why is because it was his downfall.
Yeah.
Life was sweet in prison before. It was like a shuffling.
Yeah.
Life was really good for him in prison before this. He was sent to Grafton. Now, Grafton's like the Alcatraz of prisons.
Terrible
it was just
place.
Horrific. And he died in Grafton. So he died as an old man, but still, he was there for a long time, treated like shit in Grafton. I can't imagine the things that happened to him in prison.
I found something interesting.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So I've been kind of fossicking around because Pete has so much knowledge about the facts. I kind of looked in the peripheries. He caused a fight between two premiers toward the end of his life. So here he is again, and he's put the charm on, I think. So Barry Unsworth was the premier at the time, Nick Greiner was the shadow premier, and Nick went for Barry because he found out that Barry had let Lenny out with guards so that he could paint a tree.
Oh my God.
And Barry Unsworth was full of sympathy and empathy for Lenny, saying he's an artist and all he wants to do is see a tree. And what kind of terrible person was Nick Greiner to deny him that? He did. They let him out under guard to paint a tree. And I'm thinking, have they learnt nothing of this man? Have they learnt nothing? He
even managed to seduce a premier.
Right at the end. The final end note to Lenny is actually quite recent. So while he was in Grafton, he painted a series of murals, and they're quite lovely actually. He was quite a talented artist. They're of things like just landscapes and vistas. One has a leopard laying on a cliff overlooking, it's all very Lion King-y, but very nice, calm, paintings. But they've painted over them. And they did that in 2024 because, yes. So Lenny, if you're listening, your artwork is no more.
There might be some artwork here, but we can't identify it.
We can't.
There are quite a few paintings here.
Yeah, so 2024, apparently it was triggering to health workers in the jail. And I tried to find out why. I couldn't. They didn't say anything more about that, but that's a very intriguing thing. And they've painted over them. They took some photos to record them, and they've been painted over. So
that's a bit sad, actually.
It was actually, because they weren't particularly. I don't know why they were triggering to a health worker, but clearly they were. I mean, his crimes are horrendous.
Yeah.
He is not a nice. He's not to be trusted. He certainly wasn't to be trusted to go out and paint a tree. Like, what were they thinking?
No,
Lenny, I wouldn't have let you
any
out. So
kind of
bang on a pew, I don't care, but I wouldn't have let you out. No way.
What do you think about that, Lenny? If we were in charge.
The women are in charge now, Lenny. We say no.
I wonder how the tripwire's been, if there's been any movement with the tripwire.
It feels very calm in here, but there has been some weird noises at the back, and I don't know if the camera's picking those up, but they were. And that candle's doing very odd things.
It is doing odd things. I wonder if it's supposed to be doing that.
I don't know.
We'll have to research the candles.
We have to find out about the candles. But I put that one there because this is the area of the chapel that Lenny is frequently felt and experienced, isn't he?
Yeah. So he's seen standing there, standing over the seats at the end. And the funny thing is, whenever we do an event in here, nobody sits there. In all the years that we've been doing our tours, sorry, I thought I saw something. Maybe count on one hand the number of times someone sat in Lenny's seat.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He's also seen in the vestibule, in the doorway. So it's good that the paranormal music box are there, even though it hasn't triggered anything.
It hasn't triggered anything. And our cat balls have been really quiet tonight compared to our first session in here, where they were, I heard that. I wonder if that was the footstep. I wonder if the doors moved. Oh, again. Come in. You're welcome to come in.
Okay.
That was weird.
Okay, we're back, and we have the lovely Lynda with us. Hi, Lynda.
Hello.
So the reason we've introduced Lynda is she's actually always with us. She's our little sidekick, but she has had probably the most significant experience for her alone in this chapel, and we thought this might be a good time for her to tell her story. So I'm just going to move the microphone here. Lynda's going to move forward a little bit.
So yeah, this was maybe 2 years ago. So I was the photographer this night, so I came up when everybody else was down at 1 and 3 wing, and so I came in here to take some photos.
You knew there was nobody around?
Yeah, no one was around.
We were all down in 1 and 3.
1 and 3, so yeah, so when I came in, I just went to the door, and I took a shot, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll take a couple more. As I took the second shot, well, before I took the second shot, I felt like someone was behind me, so I looked around thinking it was maybe one of our guys coming up just to try to scare me. But yeah, turned around, no one was there, so I took a few more shots, and when I did take the next one, I heard a man, it sounds funny, but it was like that, and so that freaked me out, and I don't get scared very often. So I went down the stairs, pulled a muscle.
There's a lot of movement down there.
It likes Lynda's story.
Yeah, twisted a muscle in my back because I twisted so fast. Yeah, so then I went outside, told someone that was just over there pointing a light at a trip hazard, and they actually said, well, when they saw the flash of the camera, they thought they saw a shadow moving across the outside of the wall of the church coming towards the doors, and so that sort of collaborated what I heard. It was almost like this shadow was coming up to scare the shit out of me, and yeah, it worked, so that was fun. And I couldn't come back in. So that was that, and I couldn't come back into the church, well, probably for a couple of months. If I did, I was on edge, and that's not like me at all.
That's really not like her. She's fearless. She's fearless.
You're pretty brave. Like, you'll go anywhere on your own too.
Yeah, nothing really scares me, but that night it did. So yeah.
More. So Lynda, we had an experience in here a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I'm gonna actually before we talk about it, I'm gonna play it right now.
Okay, so here we have the chapel. What the fuck was that? Lynda, did you just hear that? What the fuck was that? No, I have a feeling it came from down near the altar.
Let's go have a look. But everyone's in the...
There's nobody in here, everybody's doing a vigil, it's just you and I. Got chairs underneath. It wasn't a chair, was it?
Yeah, it looked like it was the same position when we left them last time. No.
Nobody in there? Check there. Who could it possibly be anyway?
Buddy?
Lenny? But I mean of us.
Yeah, no.
That was so loud, my heart's in my throat. Oh my God.
Hello? Yeah, so I was outside waiting for Peet. Peet was in here. I don't know what she was doing.
I was just coming in to record a YouTube or a TikTok or something, just with the history of the chapel. But I'd only just walked in the door.
Yeah, and I heard this bang, which I thought she dropped a torch or phone or something like that. So I didn't really worry too much. And then
Until
she
I squealed
called out to me, and I came in and she goes, "Did you hear that?" And I said, "Yeah, I heard it from outside." And it was just a big bang. And we looked around if anything had fallen over. We couldn't find anything. So yeah, that put us on edge a little bit because it was like almost as soon as she got in here, just bang, like as if, "Get out, Peter, I don't want you in here," type thing. So that was pretty cool as well. Then we heard other little noises here and there. But it sounded like it was at the back.
No, to me it sounded like it was down here.
Yeah, see, I thought it was down the back a little bit.
Because you were outside.
And she was, that's why I thought it was so loud, because I thought it was down this way. But she said no, it sounded like, with her being in here, it sounded like it was more at the front. So who knows? But it's, it's echoey, so couldn't really pinpoint where the sound was coming from. Because, because of that echoey.
So on a lighter note, there's another spirit in here that we've made contact with several times, and this one is the complete opposite to Lenny. We call him Buddy. Now, I can't remember how we came up with that name.
I don't know. I was always told his name was Buddy and that he was of Pacific Islander descent, which is really vague.
Yeah.
But one night we had a lady here who was a sort of a medium, and she was Maori, and she was really interested in Buddy. I brought her in to the chapel and said, "What can you tell us about him?" And she said, "I can't pick up anything apart from what you've got. He's from the Pacific Islands and he's a protective."
So what we've picked up in the past is that he's an innocent, very, very innocent, gentle soul who got in with the wrong crowd, and they took advantage of him and done for their crimes. Basically, that's what I've found. But he's hilarious. He normally responds to burps.
Burgers. Sorry,
he loves cheese.
Yeah. I think it was over that way.
It was over there.
Also, I think we got the name because Buddy is like "g'day friend" type thing.
Yeah,
so we maybe named him like that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Maybe, I don't know, but he responds to Buddy.
Yeah.
He makes little knocks, little ticks in response to burps. Should I burp?
Yeah, go on, try. See what happens. You like that, Buddy? Can you give us a couple of taps? Copy me.
Lynda's covering her nose in case my burp was smelly. He loves McDonald's cheeseburgers, which just goes to show that he's not an ancient spirit. He's at least from the era of McDonald's. Another night when we were here and we were eating some cheeseburgers, my God, it was going off, and we kept saying, "Make another bang if you want a cheeseburger." Bang, bang, bang. Of course, we didn't record any of it.
Yeah, that's when we can pretty much capture something when we're not paying attention or not recording. Maybe they can actually notice those things and so they just do it because we want just you to hear this or whatever the case may be. Don't want to be on camera or something like that. So they just do it when we're just randomly talking.
When they're fucking with us.
Yeah, exactly.
One day we'll talk about Loki. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
That can
maybe
go
in the
on
green
forever
shed.
Oh, that's a whole podcast, that one. So Lynda, while we've got you, what sparked your interest in the paranormal? I just thought I saw something and then heard a noise.
I thought it might have come from up there, but I can't tell. It's so hard.
Oh, dead bell.
Holy hell.
Oh my goodness, sorry. Sorry, viewers. I forgot I set that up. Thank you.
Is that Buddy or Lenny? Who is it that stands over this way?
Lenny. I've put it right where Lenny's seen.
Is it because we're not talking about you anymore, Lenny?
So is this a new dead belt?
Yeah, brand new.
And what does this one do? It does different things from the other one?
Well, no, I'm still waiting for that one to arrive. This one's exactly like the old one.
Right.
But not broken. This one actually works.
She was calling it the fuck belt for a while because it was so broken.
I hated that one. But hopefully I love this one. But yeah, that's
well, I love it so far. That did scare the shit out of me as well. Sorry, Liz, back to you, Lynda.
Well, since my mother passed away young, I wasn't really into it then, but I was always, wonder, she's still around and all that sort of stuff. So I used to just go and walk in cemeteries and stuff like that, mostly during the day. Because
you were young.
I was only 16 then, so and just the interest of wanting to know, do they come back? And I'm just really waiting for a in-your-face moment. But there have been quite a few things that have happened that make me think, they do.
Tripwire just went off.
I just triggered.
They still do come back and see you and give you noises and signs and everything like that. It's just wanting to know.
Maybe that's your mum.
This one, the tripwire.
You've lost your mum and your dad. So.
It's just the wanting to know, like trying to find if there's any signs of the afterlife, all that sort of stuff. Hoping that they can tell you.
Yeah. Well,
what's on the other side.
Like the first rule of thermodynamics is that energy needs to go somewhere. Energy does not just disappear, it goes somewhere. And I find it hilarious that scientists who are so anti-paranormal, most of them, came up with that.
Yeah. But it was mainly just my interest in where, like, if they come back, are they still here all the time? Still waiting on, wanting to know where they are? Do they stay in one place? Do they go to different places? Are they
with us all the time?
Yeah. Just the norm that everyone thinks I gather, but yeah.
We may only find out when we're dead.
Yep. Yeah.
But we're still sick.
Yes.
Yeah. And even when we're seeking, we'll go and seek the alive people.
Yes. Let's get the living daylights out of ourselves.
I remember when we were here last time, and unfortunately we had the camera facing the other way, the door opened on us.
Yeah, but that hasn't happened tonight.
Oh,
come on, door.
Wouldn't it be awesome?
Oh my God, it happened twice.
Yeah. All right, is there anything you want to add, Erin?
No, just that, Lenny, you weren't a nice person. And you're welcome to come and haunt us here, but we're in charge now. We say no, and when women say no, we mean no.
Yep. And thanks to Lynda.
Thanks
for joining us. You will see her again. So as I said, she's our upsider. She helps us with all the setup and everything. So wherever she's had an experience, we'll get her to come on and give her story as well.
No problem. See you later, guys.
Next episode, I think we might be venturing into the clinic.
We might be.
Yeah.
Clinic's great. All right, guys.
Stay tuned.
Thanks.
See
Bye.
See you later. Bye.